Hello everyone, welcome to my channel. Please subscribe and keep watching more details. 90 Day. The Last Resort. Rob Warne calls Sophie Sierra out on big lie. 90 Day Fiancé stars Rob Warne and Sophie Sierra are one of the struggling couples in the latest season of 90 Day, The Last Resort. Many people have doubted the two due to their never-ending issues. Sophie is against Rob's controlling behavior, while Rob continues to question his wife's loyalty. But it seems things will get much worse between the two as Rob calls Sophie out for a big lie. Keep reading to see what it was. Rob and Sophie no longer share updates about each other behind cameras. Rob has been busy making content with his boy band, 90 Day Bad Boys, which consists of cast members from the past season, covering classic songs from the early 2000s. The 90 Day Fiancé star has also been traveling over the past few months, but has never shown signs of dating a new woman. Meanwhile, Sophie continues to show off her revealing outfits online. She's currently an ambassador for a certain clothing brand. She recently shared clips and pictures of herself attending a Playboy event in Miami. Recently released a new clip from the upcoming episode of 90 Day, The Last Resort. It features Rob Warne exposing Sophie Sierra's lies about her male childhood friend from the UK who came to the US to visit. According to Rob, he knows that she's been lying to him for so long. The 90 Day Fiancé star has all the evidence that Sophie and the guy named Callum had sex, but acted like they never had any sort of relationship when they were all together in the US. Sophie then turned silent after Rob said that he saw all of their malicious conversations. Many commenters were also curious about how the two would be able to fix their marriage while their trust in each other continued to fall apart. Despite their silence, Rob and Sophie made headlines earlier this year after they were spotted hanging out in Disneyland. The 90 Day. The Last Resort stars both uploaded IG stories from the themed park as well, making fans believe that their photo with a fan was recent. The two remained silent about the photo, but Sophie revealed during the last season of Hee Hee Tell All that they still go out as friends. In the world of reality television, few shows have captured the audience's attention quite like 90 Day, The Last Resort. The popular spin-off of 90 Day Fiancé takes a deep dive into the intense relationships of couples on the brink of disaster. Amid the drama, conflicting emotions, and raw vulnerability, the characters emerge as both relatable and entertaining. But when Rob Warne and Sophie Sierra found themselves caught up in a lie that had the potential to shake their already fragile connection, things took a dramatic turn that no one expected. The tension between Rob and Sophie has been building for some time, with sparks flying in nearly every episode. While the rest of the couples on 90 Day, The Last Resort grapple with their own issues, Rob and Sophie's relationship seemed to be teetering on the edge of collapse. The entire season has been marked by secrets, misunderstandings, and outright deceptions. But the moment when Rob finally called Sophie out for a big lie will go down in reality TV history as one of the most jaw-dropping moments in the franchise. It all began in the latest episode, when Rob confronted Sophie with accusations that she had been hiding something crucial from him. Sophie, who has been no stranger to creating a bit of chaos on the show, initially brushed off Rob's accusations, trying to deflect attention and claim that it wasn't a big deal. However, as Rob dug deeper, it became clear that the lie Sophie had told was much more than a small mistake. It was a game changer that threatened to destroy the fragile bond they had left. The nature of the lie was simple but impactful. Sophie had been pretending to be someone she wasn't, both to Rob and the audience. She had fabricated an entire story about her past, particularly her intentions for the future. For weeks, Sophie had painted herself as someone who was fully invested in making the relationship work with Rob, while secretly harboring doubts and fears that she had kept hidden. These lies about her true feelings, though small at first, began to grow into something much larger. As Rob sat there, his face a mixture of disbelief and anger, Sophie could no longer deny the truth. She had been deceiving him for weeks, telling him exactly what he wanted to hear instead of being upfront about her concerns. It wasn't just about what she said, but the emotional toll it took on Rob. The realization that the person he had trusted the most had been living a double life was enough to send him into a whirlwind of confusion and hurt. This confrontation unfolded in the midst of the group dynamic, as the other couples observed the tension between Rob and Sophie. Some were surprised by how deep the lies had gone, while others watched the unfolding drama with a mix of skepticism and support for Rob. The group setting intensified the stakes, and it became clear that no one was above suspicion on 90 Day, the last resort. Sophie, who had been trying to play the role of the victim, suddenly found herself exposed, with no way to escape the truth. But as is often the case with 90 Day Fiancé spin-offs, the truth didn't bring an immediate sense of closure or resolution. In fact, the confrontation only escalated the already simmering animosity between Rob and Sophie. The couple was forced to confront the emotional toll of their lies and face the uncomfortable reality of what it meant to be in a relationship built on deception. For Rob, the betrayal was almost too much to bear. He had invested so much of his heart into making the relationship work, only to be slapped in the face by Sophie's dishonesty. The idea that Sophie had been keeping secrets from him, telling him things she didn't truly believe, shattered his trust. Trust, as the show had consistently emphasized, is one of the most important aspects of any relationship. And without it, the couple was left with nothing but a hollow shell of what they once had. Sophie, for her part, found herself on the defensive. She could no longer maintain the facade that she had carefully crafted. Her immediate reaction was to downplay the situation, but the deeper the conversation went, the harder it became to justify her actions. She found herself caught between explaining herself and trying to save face. As the argument grew more heated, Sophie's emotions fluctuated between anger, frustration, and regret. What made this moment particularly impactful wasn't just the lie itself, but the layers of emotions that came with it. Sophie's deceit had deep roots. There were underlying fears and insecurities that fueled her behavior. She wasn't just lying to Rob, she was lying to herself as well. In a way, the deception was a coping mechanism, a way to avoid the harsh realities of their relationship. But in the end, it became clear that the truth had to come out, no matter how painful it was. Rob's confrontation with Sophie in 90 Day. The last resort was a turning point for both of them. While it may have seemed like the end of their journey together, there was also a glimmer of hope. The raw emotions that surfaced during this confrontation revealed the vulnerability of both individuals. Despite the hurt and mistrust, there was a chance for healing, if they could navigate the difficult path of forgiveness and transparency. The dramatic fallout from Rob calling Sophie out on her big lie also had ripple effects on the other couples in the group. For many, the scene served as a wake-up call. It was a reminder that honesty is the cornerstone of any relationship, and without it, things can quickly spiral out of control. The group dynamic, once supportive and united, began to shift as everyone started questioning their own relationships and the extent to which they had been truthful with each other. As the season continues, it's clear that the drama surrounding Rob and Sophie is far from over. Their relationship remains a focal point of 90 Day. The last resort, and viewers are left to wonder whether they can rebuild the trust that was so thoroughly shattered. What will happen to their relationship after the big confrontation? Will Sophie come clean about her true feelings, or will the lies continue to haunt their connection? In the world of reality television, it's moments like these that make shows like 90 Day, The Last Resort so captivating. The emotional stakes are high, the characters are complex, and the truth, however painful it may be, always manages to come to light in the most dramatic of ways. And as we've seen time and time again, the consequences of lying can be far-reaching, affecting not only the individuals involved, but also the entire group dynamic. Rob and Sophie's confrontation will undoubtedly be remembered as one of the defining moments of 90 Day, The Last Resort, and fans are eagerly awaiting to see how their story unfolds. Whether they can work through their issues and rebuild their relationship, or whether the trust between them is forever broken remains to be seen. But one thing is for sure, the drama is far from over.